Number 16. Gangrene. This is a love letter, not a romantic one, but a love letter nonetheless. Each morning after dropping off my children, I attended the torture chamber so the surgeon could scrape your gangrenous wound and douse it with a bleach-like solution. At my previous visit, they put a new cast on you. It contained a window, a square at the front they could pop off to access the wound. The venomous anger I felt towards the doctor for not listening to me the week prior was not cooling. When I asked him to remove the cast because something was wrong with you, he ignored me. I had to drop you into a tub full of water and claim it was an accident to get him to remove the cast. In my rage, I did not want the doctor to see me as weak, so I held tight to the pain as he scraped away at the ugly, thick wound. The stench alone was enough to turn the strongest of stomachs. The combination of scents from the wound, the cleaning solution, and my stress sweat created a raunchy, death-like odor. Everyone around me caught whiffs of it. I was seriously grossed out and constantly embarrassed. Everywhere I went, folks would turn up their noses at the stench of me. This took place not long after my relapse, so any type of pain medication was out of the picture. I lay on the table, deep breathing, trying not to clench my jaw and visualizing through the torture. I imagined myself dancing. During the treatment, the wound pulsed and burned, pulsed like a mouthful of abscessed teeth, burned like bites from hundreds of fire ants. I saw the doctor every morning for several weeks and never spoke or looked at him. My gastrointestinal system was also out of whack from the heavy antibiotics I was on. Afterwards, to be safe to drive, I had to sit in the car for several minutes to try to settle the pain. One morning, about 3 weeks into the torturous treatment, as I sat in the car, I caught a glimpse of my face in the rearview mirror. At the sight of my bottom lip quivering, fire-hot tears and deep primal groans escaped me. My body was still. There was no sobbing, only release. After about 10 minutes, the tears cooled and the groaning faded. I cannot say the crying removed the pain, but it gave me a small measure of relief. Every day after that, I sat in the car and cried for 10 to 15 minutes before heading to school. Eventually, I did not have to go see the surgeon anymore. Instead, a nurse came to the house daily. She was wonderful and explained the seriousness of the wound to me. I was right. You had the power to kill me. She said it was a good sign that the wound was healing, but these types of things were unpredictable. No promises could be made. The pain was still a great hardship to endure, but the smell had slightly improved. After a time, she only needed to clean the wound every second day, then twice weekly, and eventually weekly. It was a joyous day when the nurse proclaimed, "This wound has healed." There would be several more weeks before the cast could come off, but the smell was barely recognizable anymore, and the intense pain was gone. The physiotherapist who would guide me through the rehabilitation process said, "I won't lie, it'll be painful." I just laughed and told him, "I have no doubt I can handle whatever you have in mind." It took me 6 years to walk downstairs normally, instead of placing one foot and then the other on every step. I no longer loathed you, but was grateful you had healed, and if I was careful, you rarely caused me pain, except when the barometric pressure changed. I enjoyed almost a decade of fairly pain-free existence with you until your hardware failed. Another operation was necessary to remove the screws that were protruding out of you. Just before I was anesthetized, I heard, "That's the wrong screwdriver." To say the least, I went under feeling ill at ease. Learning to love you, Joey.
Subscribe, like, and share to support this channel.